And welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sire, and welcome to part 2 of rebuilding this bike. As you guys can see, we're back in my pool. Just because the bike can stay here and I'm not bothering my parents or anything like that while the rebuild is going on. So that's where she's gonna be staying for the rebuild. And this is how she looks right now, in case you guys missed the first episode. We ended up removing pretty much all of the fairings. The tank is pretty much loose, so I can remove it. And one of the new additions that I did off camera because I had the chance to was a new rear tire. This is a Pirelli Rosso 3. The specs for it is a 190/50/17. Really good tire. And yeah, but before we get to this, there's a lot of parts that came in, and let's take a look at them. So yeah, welcome back. As you guys can see, quite a lot of parts have come in ever since the last episode. This is not all of the parts, it's just most of them, or like at least the most necessary ones. So yeah, let's get to unboxing and take care of the bike, which, as you guys can see, is right outside. So let's take a look. All right, so let's take a look real quick. We'll go top to bottom. There's quite a lot of big goodies in here. All right, so let's start with the small stuff. Let's start with this package right here. This is the 2 bolts, I believe, right? Yep. These are my 2 rear set bolts that, as you guys see on the last episode, they were pretty much bent from the accident. Here's a picture of them, and here's the 2 new ones. And so pretty much this is my rear set for my shifting side of the sets, and these 2 bolts will pretty much just go in here, and this bolt holds the set to the bike. So it looks good. Finally the set won't be bent or anything like that, so I'm excited to get this back on the bike. Moreover, let's see, this is probably the most important piece. As you guys can see, my throttle cables. They look really good. Obviously I'm gonna be putting some grease or some wax on these cables. That way they'll be purely lubricated and ready to go. This is gonna be probably the biggest issue or the biggest challenge, I wanna say, whenever we get to this on the bike. What's next? Let's do this one. So this, if I'm correct, should be my clutch lever assembly. Let me get it out for you guys. Let's see. That's that. And here you go. This is the new clutch lever for the 2005 CBR. Obviously the part that got messed up is this bolt that tightens it up on the clip-ons. So this is definitely gonna fix that issue. All right, let's see. I'll do this one. I don't know if you guys can see already what that is, but pretty much, as you guys saw, the front end of the bike got damaged, and I thought that this part was one of those that somehow got saved and didn't take much of a damage. Unfortunately, it took damage, so I went on and ordered a new one. So this is your headlight bracket housing. It's pretty much what goes in front of the bike and holds the headlights and the tachometer with everything on top. So the part that got messed up for me was this side right here. This pretty much broke completely off, and yeah, so we got a new one to replace that with. Pretty good quality, I'd say, and yeah, really nice quality. All right, now for the spicy side, I'll take that aside real quick. These 2 are probably my favorites. I'll get to this one first. So this is a seat. This one at least ain't nothing crazy about it. It's actually a good condition seat, but this is what I'm interested in is the back and the padding. This though, this is sick. Check it out. It has like a carbon fiber type of print. It's not real carbon fiber obviously, but it has like a print looking thing, really nice. Leather, and with the double R stitching, white, because the bike is white. So this will go really good in hand. So pretty much how you do this pretty much is you remove the staples that are back here on the original one. You remove this thing, and then you lay this thing over the seat. And with a stapler gun or anything like that, you pretty much just staple it all together. All right, and last but not least, this is pretty much my new headlight housing. So that you guys saw in the last video, the last one was completely broken. So here you guys go. Absolutely beautiful with new fittings and all that. Everything is as it's supposed to be. This is where the headlight bulbs go. Again, new fittings, so everything, it's pretty much brand new. So this is gonna be exciting to put on alongside the headlight bracket. It's pretty perfect. Like, quality, it's there. No damage, no nothing. So yeah, these are all the parts that are gonna be going on between today and tomorrow. We have quite a lot to do, and yeah, so let's get to putting them on. So this is just a little to show how far I've gone so far. That's my airbox, and as you guys can see, this is my throttle body with the cables that I need to change. And as you guys can see, you will see the issue. So when you twist it, obviously the throttle body is opened up to let in air, fuel. You know, that's how you get the power. That's how the bike accelerates. The issue though is that when I twist it and this thing is open, then I let go. And you see how it's not fully closing? It just takes a good minute till it closes. There we go. That is not safe, by the way. Because more than anything, with this thing being damaged, it could just literally just snap off, and then this whole job would have been a lot more of a thing. By the way, so to remove all of this, took a little bit of a play. As you guys can see, it's pretty out here. So far, the way that I did it was pretty much remove the top cover from the that holds the ECU and stuff like that. The connector right there, and then there's a few bolts around that you need to take off, and this thing comes off. And then the next step is to remove this piece right here, which usually would like sit somewhat like that. And the way that I did it was I disconnected my fuel lines, at least to make it easier for me. So as you guys can see, there's a few bolts right there, and the whole fuel assembly comes out. And from there, there's a few bolts around here that you just pretty much disconnect or undo, and then this cover comes off. Now, the fun part, and just to show you guys, fuel line right there. Boom, disconnect that. Boom, put it aside. You disconnect all the other plugs so that it can go back. Gives you a lot more room to work with, pretty much. And then the final one is this one. You pretty much undo this bolt for the air filter, and then you will have the throttle hornets. intakes, I guess. These things that will be sitting pretty much, yeah, in this formation right there. So let me get to it. So yeah, you pretty much undo the bolts on each single one of those, and those come out. And when those come out, they pretty much give you access to this bolt, and this bolt, and that's how your air filter comes out. I'm not necessarily sure that you need to remove those bolts to remove the air filter, in my opinion, but since I'm removing this whole thing, that's just what I did. And then to remove this thing, pretty much all the bolts are undone, so you just pretty much need to disconnect a hose that's connected right here, a hose that's connected right here, and then you need to shimmy out this part of the intake. And from there, that whole piece comes out, and this is how you're looking, pretty much. Now my whole job is about to get a lot more fun. As you guys can see, I need to remove my throttle cables, and this job is going to be very fun without removing the throttle bodies. So pretty much I have to remove this cable right here, but that one's easy because it's up here. But the worst one is the lower one, which is somewhere down there, and God knows I'm about to get to that one. I honestly have no idea. We'll see. I'll see how that happens, I guess. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where we're at. This is how the bike looks. I didn't disconnect the tank. That's just sitting to the side. And yeah, let's get back to it. Alright, so first one already done, pretty easy. This is the one that was really messed up, and I already removed the tumbler. Pretty much the way that you do it is when it's in there, I have a pick. So pretty much because I removed it from up here, I was able to create a lot more slack in the cable, meaning that I had a lot more room to like push it forward like that. And then using the pick, I just kind of like, you see the edges right here, you just push it forward and slide it out of this, I don't know if you guys can see it, this passage right here. And that's how this cable came out. Technically speaking, this is the one that I need to replace. Technically speaking, like this one is technically good to go, and that's the harder one, believe it or not. So I'm contemplating on whether to leave this one or not, but I'm already this far, so I might just replace it. If it gives me too much of a headache, I might reconsider it. But till then, we're gonna keep moving forward and removing this one too. Okay, so it actually wasn't easy. It wasn't hard. Everybody just made it sound like mad hard, but let me see if I can show you guys real quick. Pretty much this thing is like all the way in there, and if you remove an ab slack, if you add an ab slack to the cable, it will get to a point where the cable will do pretty much this. Doing this inside there, then I pretty much just grab the pick, push it up to where the thing was in that passage pretty much, but on the other side. And then using the pick, you pretty much just bring it up, and then putting the pick like this, you pretty much just push it out. And literally, like matter of seconds, I removed this cable. So I guess it wasn't that bad of a job. That was actually pretty easy. I'll get back to you guys with the new cables and stuff like that, I guess. Wow. So, on God, I think I'm just better. It's still the same day. Probably started the cable job about half an hour ago, maybe. Yeah, like at 11 roughly is when I started. And all I want to say is that it can be done. Like, it may look like hard and all that, but on God, it can indeed be done. You just need to have patience you need to have, I would recommend having someone else to have like a flashlight, that way you can actually see the start pit hole in there. But on God, it can be done. So just to explain real quick the way that I did it. Got my flashlight out. So pretty much that's to the bottom cable, as you guys can see. And what I did is, so this one specifically is the one that I got. So pretty much the way that I did it is I feed the cable through here while having this back open space like this. I pretty much just fed my pick all the way in there, so you guys can see it roughly right there. So pretty much you just feed it through there, then you fish for the cable and you bring it all the way out. As you guys can see, that's the thing right there. So you put it all in, fish it, bring it all the way out till it's like roughly around here. From here you can honestly just take your hand, bend the cable, and with two fingers just feed it in. As you guys can see, there's enough space for me to put my hands, and you just put the cable against the opening thingy right here where the hole is at, roughly right there where the track is at. And then with the other hand you just pretty much take the pick and you pretty much just take it off of your hand, and you try your best honestly to put it in the whole pause. But yeah, and then from there, because the cable is pretty much all the way in, you can try and like bend it like this. Like imagine my finger is the cable, you pretty much just bend it while you fish this thing and you try to put it in the hole. Then you pretty much just bend it with your fingers to try and put it in the tracks, pretty much like this track right here, for example, for the top one. And from there, yeah, it just goes in there, and then obviously you have to adjust and all that. But like I said, life is not so bad. It's actually not that bad. You just need to have some patience. On to the next one. So it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm still on the cables, and you know, when they say the hardest parts are the easier parts, they mean it. Cause tell me why I took half an hour to be able to remove the bottom cable and install it, as well as the top one. Half an hour, that's all it took me to do this part. Tell me why. And just so you guys can see, it's 2:32 in the morning. Tell me why it took me so long to freaking get these cables to connect up here. Like it shouldn't have been that hard. Like, and guys, if you can help me with this, I would greatly appreciate it. I ended up using, actually, I don't know if you guys can see my old throttle cable for the bottom one, because I genuinely thought that it was just the new ones that like were messed up pretty much. I have the new one over there, at least for the opening of the throttle body, but I kept the closing one because that's the one that I need to replace anyways. But so the issue was that I pretty much just found it like really hard to put the cables back in the stock and back into the throttle, to where I thought, like, I tried to adjust it, I tried to do everything, and I just was not able to put it in here. That's why I took the old one and I put it in, because I genuinely thought that maybe the new one were like shorter or anything like that. So if you guys can help me, please, because I genuinely adjusted everything down here. Everything was like as loose as possible, and I still had like a really hard time putting the cables back into the stock and back into the throttle. So again, if you guys have any suggestions or any any of the reason why that was the issue, I was having so much issue with it, please, I would greatly appreciate it. As of right now, I'm still gonna run the old one since it's for the most part fine, and as you guys can see, it's pretty much perfect. The only thing I'm gonna need to do now is adjust this free play in the throttle right now. So I'm gonna go in and fine tune the throttle, but I'm gonna leave it like this for tonight. This shouldn't have taken as long as it did. I was literally about to give up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was genuinely about to give up. The hat went back because, you know, I had to lock in. I've never had my hat back. I'm gonna go in, fine tune this right now, put everything back together, and go on to the next stuff. All right, and with that, that's how our night is gonna end. I already put everything for the most part up here back together, from the fuel tank to the airbox. So as much of a painful night as it was, you know, we did manage to replace the throttle cable, which was my main concern. For now, I'm about to go to sleep. I'm about to take a little bit of a rest, and whenever we come back tomorrow, we'll get right back to it. From the clutch stock to the rear set and to the whole headlight unit. And then from there, we're just gonna wait until the fairings come in and the rest of the parts come in. It's so late that it literally started raining outside. The usual Florida, I guess. It's almost 4 in the morning. So yeah, quite the project, but we keep moving forward.